Hello, folks, and welcome to Fayearth. My name is Neil, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm the crazy guy who decided 7 years ago, hey, let's make a TTRPG using a D20 system superior to the Dragon games, but based on accurate depictions of European folklore and fairy tales, requiring me to spend 7 years of academic research creating this world. You know, like a normal person. So anyway, speaking of that, we are here tonight with five very lovely normal people who are playing heroes in the world of Fayearth. Specifically in the year 1872, we are in the city of love, Paris. We are all, what's it, breaking hearts and taking names? Is that, I don't know. I'm not cool. I don't know these
I hope
phrases.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
that's the goal, especially right now. So,
Yeah.
who would like to give us a recap of our last session?
Me, please.
Go Amanata.
Go on, Amanata.
So, last session was intense. The Baron attacked Gwyn and Madame Josephine, and there was a lot of kind of fallout from trying to deal with that. And essentially, we were all told to, people in Ireland understand, scatter. And we're all going to be taking up, I suppose, hostage, trying to hide from this Baron in a hotel, and we're all trying to figure out what the fuck to do because this dude is ancient, powerful, and we are only we squishy people. And yeah, it's a very scary predicament to be in. A lot of us are just like, I don't know what to do with this. And I think we're just trying to figure out how we can get through to the other side, mostly unscathed, considering how Gwyn and Madame almost did not make it through. And Madame is probably one of the most powerful NPCs in the game. We've kind of been able to
Certainly
interact with them.
human
recently?
NPCs.
Oh yeah, human NPCs
Human
for sure.
NPCs, without question, one of the most powerful you have met.
Yeah, and
that you know of.
yeah, and the Baron is crazy powerful. Like so many minor actions alone that we're just like, well, we are royally screwed.
He's a vampire. He can move really fast.
I know.
I'm just gonna say, I love how, I feel like the party are building up Psycho X's.
Listen.
I can't wait to see who's
listen.
next.
Annalise's
We never
Annalise's ex significant other, from Hamburg suddenly
Little
appears
do
on
you
the
all
scene.
know.
Because
I dated your brother.
we've already had to deal with Gwen,
Yes.
so
Well, we don't know we don't know what's going to happen with this one. So
We don't know.
Yeah,
We
he might just be a
see.
problematic not ex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just
Could happen.
misunderstood.
Well, Neil, you mentioned
Maybe I
that
can fix
there is an
We can
umbrella that
fix
blocks
him.
out the sun.
There is. It's
So-
called the Parasol of Night, which is
So
an
if
arcane.
Amanata gets turned into a vampire, they can totally still travel with us. It's going to be fine.
I'm not saying that I created magic items in this system specifically for goths, but Gwyn does have a pair of glasses that are almost identical to the ones that Gary Oldman's character wears in those scenes in Victorian London in Bram Stoker's Dracula that allow
Gotta go to my
Gwyn
happy place
to
now.
see at night as if she was Fae touched her through Fae. And there is a type of parasol called the Parasol of Night, which is a beautiful jet black parasol which protects creatures who are vulnerable to the radiant energies of the sun, allowing them to walk around in daytime.
So you're saying there's a
I'm
chance?
saying you could
listen.
become so goth
Ooh.
if you want.
I know that is always my
yeah.
characters always end up going that way. I
A
don't know how it
vampire
happens.
walking around in a jet black parasol is peak goth.
It is
I like it.
absolutely.
Let's make it.
So yeah, we're all fucked, but we're hoping we're not as fucked as we think we are. And
Well, Amanata probably is, but I'm
Well,
sure
maybe she-
they're
so,
not too.
he didn't
In a
even
good
bite
way.
me. I'm mad. I'm so
Amanata,
salty about
Amanata,
that.
you get 1d8 inspiration die, okay?
Woo.
So,
And don't forget about it.
No,
and chat remind us.
Never
Uh,
use.
So
I am the one who remembers the most, so I don't
Yeah.
need
In
that
fairness,
reminder.
I am the worst.
You
so,
are the
Yes,
worst.
know.
You are the
you
worst.
are.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say we are continuing on exactly from where we had left off.
Belina
Okay,
says it's
so
her.
you are still in Madame Josephine Gaultier's arcane workshop. Okay, so if any of you guys want to have a look around while you're here, you by all means can.
Oh, absolutely.
Just
Oh,
okay. So
I
just give me an awareness roll. Like you aren't going to be a rummage, but you can be like glancing around the room. You know.
I am going to use all my roguish nosiness to get a good peep of this place.
Look into every corner.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I please replace the awareness roll with arcane lore?
Ooh.
You
Ooh.
can give me an awareness roll, but even though you don't have keen eyes, I will allow you to add your arcane lore modifier. Okay, but it is still an awareness roll.
Annalise respects Frau Josephine too much.
Well, you've never been in this room. Ever.
No, but like I mean, okay, there's a little bit of like a polite looking around in corners,
Yeah,
but
of course, absolutely.
at the moment she's too worried.
Yeah, Sylvia's
so
too
that is
shaken. up
awareness
by-
with my keen eyes.
Keen eyes, oh yes.
21.
Okay,
Ooh.
great. So what you see, first thing so I'll just describe the room to you first of all. So as I said, it's a very large room, and there are. Excuse me, one moment. I need to pull up. I actually do have a map of this room that I drew. Where are we? NPCs. Okay, so campaign 2. Second floor. Okay, so it's a very large room. It runs the length of the house. Okay, and on either end, on the east and west walls, there are these large bookcases, glass paneled bookcases, and there are like all manner of items in it. There are lots of books, lots of journals, and lots of random items, you know. So there are jars of different colored sands, types of glass beads. There are boxes or little like wire net boxes full of different types of stone, semi-precious stone. There's various different tools, all manner of things. Okay, on the southern wall there is 3 stations. In the middle there's a very large workstation. It's over 2 meters wide. To the right of that, there's a workstation. It's about 1.5 meters wide, and it's full of the kind of equipment that a jeweler would use. Okay, and you do see several objects that are partially constructed, all involving the use of semi-precious stones. And on the other side of it, there is a arcane furnace. Okay, the central workstation is her main workstation. Okay, looking around the room, you do see a couple of things. Leaning propped against one wall, you see what looks to be Albert. Only different. Albert, the halberd that your beloved friend Mina had been carrying with her, which she gave to Madame Gaultier to enchant, merging it with a enchanted spear that had been found. And that spear looked almost like a Bronze Age spear. It had ornate bronze head, late Bronze Age kind of spearhead, with Celtic, pseudo-Celtic Latine style knotwork in it. Okay, Albert looks as if that bronze has been grafted to the head of the axe, okay, and merged with that metal, and then partially traveling down the shaft. Okay, you see a couple of different vials around. You do see a couple of standard healing tincture. What you're pretty sure are standard healing tinctures, and one thing that you do spot that like very much jumps out at you. In the middle of the table of her primary workstation is a partially complete arm and hand made of gears and mechanical workings. It would seem that, having heard your descriptions of what Montclerc was doing, she is attempting to make her own arcane prosthesis.
Oh dang!
Well, I think that's a good thing. That's awesome. Well, if somebody's lost their arm and they want to buy a prosthesis, I actually don't see an issue with that.
Yeah.
Okay, but co-opting an idea from a literal psychopath, but okay.
Yeah. Didn't Bayer make one of the vaccines that helped against COVID?
Don't know.
The same buyer who helped a certain group of people in
Mhm.
Western Europe
Uh-huh.
between the years approximately 1935 and 1945.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. I will definitely
So-
file that one away
Yeah.
because I'm going to see that and be like,
Hmm.
oh
anyhow.
no.
Bearing that in
Um,
mind.
But is
Uh,
that all? Is that all that I see?
I mean, yeah, with that, like, it's a very large room and there's lots of stuff. Like, I'm gonna say there's loads of other things you see. You have no idea what they are because it's like,
Mhm.
you know, it's equipment that artificers are using, and there's a lot of half-finished stuff that, like, you have no idea what they are because they're half complete. You know.
Mhm.
So
Um,
yeah.
Okay. Amanada is just going to like obviously going to be scanning around, like not going to try and be sneaking about it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Well, like just casually glancing around the room. That's what you're saying.
yeah, I'm not just going to like
Yeah.
microscopically glance at
What's
everything. Like,
this?
yeah, just kind of like proper up and down everything. And I'm just going to say, well, obviously we like, do you have the contact number of a hotel to see if
No,
there
no,
is
no.
room?
We have a hotel. We will be going to. I will pack a few things, and we will be going there immediately this evening.
Okay. I
Do
in
not worry about that. That is not an issue at all. No.
no, no, it's this is just so. I think I need a bit of I need somewhere to just.
Aminata, you need to send anyone who has access to your house away.
Oh,
That's where he
Um,
will surely go.
Madame Moreau, if you would like, actually, this was another thing that was on the desk was a messenger pen. She's like, would you like to use this? You can send messages directly to your ton père, ton mère, to you know
I will send messages. If is there anywhere that is a bit private, or
you could go it into the hall space if you wish.
well, I think I'd feel more comfortable staying in the room. Amanada's just going to take the
It's a
pen and be
big
like,
ass open room, you know, like
yeah. Amanada's just going to be like, I will be behind here, and then just like duck down behind one of the like desks to start writing my notes.
yeah.
Mysterious.
So you're able to send messages to whoever you wish. Okay. I mean, I can't. I'll just give me 1 second, please. Oh, shiza. What the hell just happened?
Oh, if I get killed before my brother turns up, he is going to be so angry.
And at least like looks over at that. Oh, is he due in town?
Fairly, yeah, but not for some time, I don't think. But you know, we could all be dead by then, so you know, let's not look too far ahead.
So
yeah, small blessings.
Heinrich is due in town. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Excel spreadsheets are being annoying. So today is the 17th of April. Heinrich is due sometime between the 3rd and the 5th of May. So in like about, what's that, 2.5-ish weeks, I think?
Mhm. Yeah, I think so.
About 2.5 weeks he's due. And you know this. He'd said roughly it would be around this time.
Oh,
Delightful. It will be a pleasure to see the Major again.
So, I'm sorry, Amanada. I just wanted to check out to make sure I was remembering it correctly, and I was. The range on this messenger pen is 50 kilometers. So, if your
50K.
50K. So, do you think your parents
Okay.
will be within 50 kilometers?
No.
I mean, your mother
well,
carries an arcanogram, so you could send a message that way.
Yeah, no. My parents, I definitely send.
Oh my goodness, Tendai, your camera.
I
It's just
know.
mind.
yeah, your camera's doing a thing. I don't know what's
Oh,
going
rave
on.
energy.
It's like a-
I like
That's
it.
right.
It's like
Yeah.
I know,
rainbows.
It was
Mm.
like having a moment. I swear to God, I need.
It's like
I need
we're
to get.
in Berlin
Yeah.
or something.
Okay, so
Mm,
so
mm.
yeah, so the range on a messenger pen is 50 kilometers.
Yes. So 50K, I would, to be honest, I'd probably use the Arcanogram for my parents, for
So-
the household staff. And anyway, I told them to stay away. I do not expect
I
us to
mean,
be
you
having
can,
any unexpected guests.
You're well within
the
50
house.
kilometers. Your house is well within 50 kilometers of Madame Gaultier's house. Like, Paris isn't that
Yeah.
crazy. It's big,
No,
but it's not
I
that
know.
crazy big, So you can
Um,
certainly use the messenger pen to send messages to all the household staff immediately.
Yeah, I'll send
Boom.
messages to the household staff, and I'll reassure them that don't worry, there will not be any any loss in payment. You're no loss in job. You are still employed by our family. There's just some things happening at the moment. I would appreciate your discretion. Do not tell ma mère, ma père, s'il vous plaît. Or else I will be sent to Mali for the foreseeable future. And I'm also probably going to try and send some messages to family members who would be more scholars back home to see if they might know people who might have some sort of knowledge about
Tim, okay,
anything.
absolutely, but I'm going to just get you to roll.
Yeah.
This is going to be intellect.
Yep.
Where the
And
fuck's your character sheet?
I'm just gonna say I did come across vampire type people from areas of Africa.
Oh yeah, but the African vampires are completely different. To
They're
European
different.
vampires.
Oh, I know they're different, but I'm just saying they might. It's not outlandish to think that they.
Oh
would
no! It
Oh,
wouldn't
wait,
be.
Sorry.
You have failure and you have history.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you decide which you want to use with your intellect roll.
Ooh,
That's
spicy.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically thinking of African vampires. Well, I mean, not that you're specifically thinking about the scholars that you'd be asking will be mostly.
Well, you see, it. Yes,
They're gonna be experts on African folklore. Let's be honest.
True, but also they would have been there is the great scholars of Timbuktu that would not be that far off.
Yeah,
so
absolutely, I'm not disputing that.
Even if they don't know, they might know some. Is this going to be a really extensive game of telephone? If
In a
there
pipeline.
Maybe, but I'm gonna
exactly.
give.
Okay, I'll go Taylor.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's +4.
Okay, so that is and that's an intellect roll.
Yeah.
Can I use my evaluation?
Nope. That is for gauging prices of shit.
Okay,
You do have your +8 or your
inspiration, yeah.
No, but that's a dirty 20 anyway.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'll just say with that, you're honestly, you can send a message, but you're not expecting to get a lot because the people that this message will be going to, they are some of the greatest minds in West Africa. I mean, the university in Timbuktu is actually quite ancient, but they are experts in African folklore and culture. So they probably know virtually nothing at all about European vampires. The European fae that they know of are the ones that everybody knows: the elves, the fairies, the dwarves, the giants. This is a bit more obscure, but you send the message regardless.
Yeah, hopefully there's going to be some sort of slight.
Learned people, no learned people.
It's not even that. It's just a case. I hope there's going to be maybe some similarities amongst the types of vampire, because I know African ones will probably be able to withstand things like sunlight, things like that.
True.
Whereas European ones might not be able for it. But yeah, just hoping that there's enough commonality that we can make a bit more of a clearer picture of what we're dealing with.
So
any avenue for knowledge.
You pack up all your stuff, and you do see Madame Gaultier grabbing what look to be 3 standard healing tinctures. They're all she has.
Would it be worth, I wonder, possibly going to Feiruz mentioned it when she was with us, the Sorbonne. I believe it's a university. Perhaps they might have some information.
I can certainly. I'm a former student of the Sorbonne. I could go. Justine, you could come with me too. We could As a former graduate there, I have access to the library. We could go together tomorrow.
I
and
just
do
I
some
just
research.
think because they might have some information.
They
Of
may.
course, it's not it's up to you if you want to pursue it. Of course.
Well, I mean, any avenues, of course. If you know of
We
any other possible places of knowledge or people
we
of knowledge.
we need to exhaust
Mm.
absolute all
I'd
the
like
options we
to.
have available to us.
We don't
I would
have
like to
much
visit
time.
the
You don't
Archbishop again.
understand how fast it moved.
Um,
If it comes back tomorrow, I don't know what we'll do.
Justine, what were you going to say there, Justine?
I was going to say that I would like to visit the Archbishop again.
I could accompany you, and hopefully I could placate him and like organize
I think
something.
I think we shouldn't separate.
No, I do
I,
not think we should
I,
separate.
th-
Oh,
I do not.
Madame,
During the daytime, I think we will be safe.
but Madame, I have, I suppose, more of a request. I will need to return to my home to retrieve some of my belongings. Would it be possible to? I'm not sure if you can make anything like this, but I need something that can mask my scent or something, just so I'm not. If there is, if they
I have
happen
an
to be,
arcane mask, but I don't think it will mask your scent.
if there happens to be someone in the home who can follow my scent from there, I do not want to jeopardize any of you, since we'll all be in the same hotel and there'll be other
Unfortunately,
civilians.
I do not. I actually have, and she points towards a black obsidian stone pendant on the workstation. I had just recently finished constructing that talisman of concealment, but it is a talisman which protects against magical scrying and divination, not against mundane tracking using scent, for example, or your tracks on the earth. I would not be able to make something like. And to be perfectly honest, my plan tomorrow was to work with Justine,
Yes.
to help her recharge all of the mana receptacles that she has been charging. I can use my own arcane power to charge the permanent receptacles that you had purchased or acquired, so that she has an additional pool of power with which to fully charge all of your receptacles. That would mean that within 24 hours, we have all these devices fully charged.
Well, I already charged Yastine's because I gave her my
No, of course. No, this is good.
temporary mana receptacle. So, it seemed a fair exchange. And I did say that.
I know, yeah, no, but this is.
We did say that. I did
I
that.
think.
However, I could draw mana from the mana receptacle,
Yes.
from the permanent mana receptacles to recharge.
I can recharge those devices with my pool, and we will have them all of them fully charged by tomorrow night when we rest again. But I think right now, I'm just going to pack a few things, and then we shall go downstairs. And you can see she had been casting a spell, so I just sent a message to Jerome to bring the coach around. And we will be going to the hotel.
Well,
As for your the objects that you said you needed, after we are checked into the hotel, if you want, Jerome could bring you to your house.
Well, I would be more than happy to escort Aminata to a if
Anna-
avoid about mundane problems.
Please don't leave her alone.
That would be much appreciated.
Of course, my gun is yours.
Aminata is just going to just kind of crumple, just kind of sit on the floor, very kind of despondent gaze, to be like, well, this is some shit.
Yep.
But they're just glad that everybody is more or less alive. I do have a question, actually.
Of course.
I could not find information about this online anywhere. Like mail forwarding.
Sorry?
Like mail redirecting.
Oh yeah.
How did that work in 1872?
with great difficulty. The postal service back then was not the best.
It's not great.
It really
Yeah.
wasn't that great. A lot of people, as far as I know, I like literally 2 decades later, it's vastly improved.
Proved. Yeah.
You know, it's in the cities anyway. Like you get into the late 19th century, and there's actually postal runs a day, two postal deliveries a day in major cities in the UK, because people would like send postcards to each other in the morning that would get to them by like noon, and then they would reply to be back by 2, so like they could send quick messages arranging things like luncheons and dinners and so. But that's we're about 2 decades from that. I'm not like
Okay,
I'm not being funny. Like
No, that's fine.
Its post is not terrible, and this is why arcanograms, if you have the money, people, the bourgeois, all have arcanograms, so they can instantly send each other messages, for their, social functions, or for their private illicit rendezvous, that their spouses don't want to know about.
Question: would the Baron have an arcanogram, and would Amanada have the?
You do
Ooh.
not. You guys were going old school.
Old school,
You guys
yeah.
were going old school letters to each other.
Okay, that's grand. That's what I thought.
Though you do now have a magic quill.
Well, it's not permanently mine, but
Not true, but you have it at the moment.
yeah, true.
Something to think about. Little sneaky message.
Yeah, no, Amanada will definitely want to send a sneaky message.
There you go.
Madame Josephine packs a few things in her trunk, and she does bring her messenger pen with her, and she tells you all she's bringing this with her. If there's any other individuals, any other allies in the city that you would like to message, that to rendezvous
We should update our friend Tito. He was somewhat aware of the situation. We should inform him.
Okay,
Not that he can do much. No one can do much against this Baron.
Sorry, I cannot remember. Did you tell me about this monsieur before?
Maybe not. He's an old acquaintance, I suppose.
We met him when we were in Cherville, and
Is he a druid like Sylvia? Is he a witch like you, Gwyn? Is he?
Oh, he
Who
is
knows? But he's
a very
star-crossed
mysterious
with us.
man of the road, so he calls himself.
We've bumped into him many times, and where I come from,
That's
once maybe is an accident. 3-4 times is not a coincidence.
Maybe it is fate. Who knows?
Oh,
do you not?
why is everyone so obsessed with fate lately? My God!
Have we not always been since the dawn of time?
Yeah, there's something romantic about the idea.
No, there isn't.
but,
Sometimes, how about
for-
sometimes things just happen and they're really awful and there's no rhyme to it.
Well, I don't know. The fate weave webs for us all, and Tito has become part of our story
I would like
for
to
some
think,
reason.
I would like to think I was fated to meet Gwyn.
I
Aw.
believe so. There's no doubt
Oh,
in
you
my
must-
mind.
All right, you know what? You're right. It's just the
So
druids
late in
are
the day
telling
for
me.
flirting.
Oh, there's no
Hold on,
flirting
what?
there. Clearly,
Well, I'm glad you still find me attractive, although I am half dead on the floor. I would really like to get out of this house now.
I did a good job healing
We
you,
shall
Ben.
go. We shall go. Jerome is outside, and you all bundle into her. We will go the mundane way. People need their rest. And he says, d'accord, madame. So he does not use the carriage's enchantment to
plus
jump through the
situation.
shadows. And you go at a regular pace for about 15-20 minutes, pulling up in front of a fabulous looking building. On the front it says La Chaux d'Etoile, and this is a stunning looking 4-story building, a beautiful facade featuring a mixture of Renaissance and Baroque. This is iconic looking. Okay, it's actually pretty close to like the center of the city. You're probably about maybe 15, maybe 20-minute walk from Notre Dame de Paris. And she says, I have been here a number of times. The staff are extremely discreet, and it is one of the finest hotels in Paris.
Oh,
So,
Madame, you're
well,
far too generous.
I can only imagine how comfortable those beds are going to be.
so as you get out, the footmen are already immediately at the carriage helping you alight. Okay. They're kind of looking at you guys a bit strangely, but then they see Madame Gaultier and they immediately recognize her. Okay, because she's still fabulously dressed, even though she just nearly died fighting a baron. She still looks amazing. It's just like, you know, it's nearly sickening. Her hair is
I'd
still
say Gwyn
perfect.
looks like a street urchin, blood running down her neck.
Yeah, I killed you.
Well, you didn't clean her.
You didn't
Well, she's
clean
got
me
a comb
exactly.
for that.
So,
okay? I'm not going to be there with my
so entering through the beautiful brass inlaid doors, you come into a magnificent lobby adorned with a marble floor, gilded columns, and a crystal chandelier full of fairy globes casting their soft arcane light. Okay, the air is filled with the subtle scent of fresh flowers, meticulously arranged in ornate, fine porcelain vases that look like they've come from the exotic and far-off east of China.
Sylvia is immediately really just looking to see what flowers are. Does she recognize? Like if they're not European, she's going to be like,
you're seeing a mixture of some very roses and the likes, but also some exotic orchids as well, and some very exotic flowers of paradise. So
why
so going up to the front, you come to this fabulous reception desk. It's a beautiful, rich mahogany inlaid with rosewood and bronze again. And you see a very, very well put together man in an extremely fine uniform. You see they're all wearing the same uniform. It's this beautiful kind of it's their uniform jacket that the men are wearing is like a crushed velvet in a deep emerald green with a gold trim. And
Sylvia sidles up to Annalise and just says, "Oh, well, as an officer, I'm sure you are well used to staying in places such as this."
Well, home for something like this, but this is likely the nicest safe house or boat house that I've had in quite a long time.
So you notice that it's mostly male staff that you're seeing out here. There's a couple of female staff, but they seem to be mostly dressed as maids, going around more in the background, trying to do that thing that servants can do, where they just kind of move through the crowd without being seen, you know?
Yeah.
And the male staff are all wearing yet again these rich dark green cravats, except for Monsieur at the other side of the reception. His cravat is a vibrant deep gold. As he comes up to you, she says, "Madame Gaultier, it is always a pleasure." And she says, "Alexandre, you do not know how happy I am to see you." This guy, he looks like he's in his early 50s. He is so distinguished and refined looking. He's got this immaculately sculpted beard of a dark charcoal grey. Okay, he's about average height, lean build, and his hair is also a silvery grey. It's kind of fairly short, a little bit more on top, piercing blue eyes that you can see take in everything. He says, "I know it is impromptu, but myself and my dear friends, we have had something of a emergency, and we need some of your finest rooms for, we shall say at least 3 nights." And he looks around at because it's basically 6 femme presenting people. It's not like, it's a bunch of lads looking to shack up or something, And he says, "Of course, madame, of course. We can give you 3 of our suites if you would like." I said, "That would be perfect. That would be absolute perfectement. Okay, thank you. And just, of course, it will just be charged tomorrow." He said, "Madame, of course, do not worry. We shall deal with those. We do not talk of such things right now." He says, "And if you could have refreshments brought to the rooms. Oh, and can we have I assume these 3 suites are Madame, they are all on the same floor, the top floor, and they are all directly adjacent to each other." So, you are an absolute treasure. I says, "Fine, shall we?" And she leads you all towards, I don't know if, okay, Aminata, yes, and Annalise, yes. maybe a
This is ridiculous. Gwen has never seen
God, no.
such
Oh,
finery,
Jesus
and
Christ,
she's
no.
exhausted, but getting giddy at the sight of like the chandelier, the
yeah.
talk of sweets. Like, this is outrageous.
So she brings you towards this. Basically, it's a brass set of folding gates that pulls open to reveal a small square space inset into the wall. And you're like, you just walk past the stairs and you're going to the top floor and he's like, what is this? And there's a gentleman standing inside in the hotel livery. As you all squeeze in, it's a somewhat tight fit because there are 6 of you, but you're all okay. And he kind of makes himself really small up in the wall and says, to the top. And he says, the Madame. And he pulls the gates closed and he pulls this lever and the floor starts to rise.
I always love when we get to go into fantasies.
Oh, they're such fun.
What? Is this one
Sylvia
of your
freezes
creations?
and she kind of grabs the nearest person to her. She was not expecting the ground to move. I don't know who's the nearest person. It's going to be very split second. She'll like grab hold of their arm and then like kind of steady herself and just be like, "No, that didn't happen. I am
I like to think Gwen and Sylvia are looking at each other like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah. So Sylvia like
Mixture of awe
grabs
and
Gwen's
fear.
arm in
And
a like
illness.
just because she got frightened when the floor moved, but then like lets go immediately and immediately tries to like act like that didn't just happen.
So cool.
I can imagine they made eye contact for like 2 seconds, and Gwen just hysterically laughs because this is so insane to her. Like, she's never
Yeah.
seen such
Of
opulence.
course.
Yeah, and Sylvia she was not expecting the floor to move, so she just got a fright.
Right. It just gets crazier and crazier.
Amanada is just going to like kind of nudge Justine with their shoulder and be like, "Cool, isn't it? No."
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Justine has been in buildings before with lifts. Possibly.
Probably.
Maybe. I don't know. You do know what a lift is.
I don't think she did, but I think she's aware of it.
You would know.
Let's
what
put
they
it that
are.
way.
You would know what they
Yeah,
are.
I don't
because of your
think she's
education.
ever physically
Yeah.
been in the lift, but I think she read about it and she's like, no, ooh. So she's like both slightly like not scared, but like she
And
you know, it's like
you
boarding a plane for the first time,
Of
kind of.
course, you would have also had friends in university who were studying engineering and architecture who
Yeah.
who had like projects where they had to design a lift, you know. So
Yeah.
you are definitely, this is your first time being in one, but you do know of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think Justine would like sneakily try to cast detect magic, because like
What witchcraft is
you know,
this?
yeah, she knows there is like no magic involved.
No, there
but
is
she's like,
no magic at all. This is pure.
she's like, well,
yeah, this is pure
pure
physics,
engineering.
pure
So she's both, like,
engineering.
fascinated, but then she's
Yeah.
like sneakily kind of trying to detect if there was like some
So this is
underground magic going
I
on.
mean, this is the thing, like, actually, is that when you do cast that spell, you don't have restricted caster. So give me a roll a d20. We'll see how subtle you can be about this.
I mean, I don't think she's trying to be like too subtle, in fairness.
Well, we'll see how you get on. Because you do not have restricted caster. What did you get?
Screams at the top of their lungs.
Okay. So everybody sees you
Everybody
subtly trying
knows.
to cast a spell. Even the lift operator, he's pretending he didn't see, but you send out the spell, and this is the thing: there is not an ounce of magic. The only magic that you're picking up is from your friends' items that you know they have on their persons. And that just impresses you even more. Because as a sorcerer, you feel like, no, this should be powered by magic.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's not. What sorcery is this? You know?
Yeah, that's literally what she is thinking.
Yeah.
And then like she was slightly at saying like when everyone saw it, she would be like, whoops. But then you know, she's kind of more fascinated by the fact that it's pure technology and there is like no magic at all.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow. And I think she's like trying to like whisper to Aminatin, being like, there's no magic. And expecting people to react the same way, but I guess everyone else is just like, okay, yeah, engineering makes sense.
So,
This
You
is just
hear, like,
mad rich people shit as far as Sylvia is
you get
concerned.
to the top floor, and you come out, and you see Annalise. You spot Madame Gaultier slip the lift operator a coin, probably a silver or something. I'm not sure. Okay.
Let's give it like an approving nod.
Yeah, and you come out, and there's 3 doors. She says, "Well, myself and Gwyn will be taking this one. Obviously, you decide amongst yourselves, ladies, which of you will be sharing with which."
Justine, we, and Annalise, would you like to join? I know. Well, we should all be pretty paired up with someone with offensive abilities or magics, or just in case. We just need to be prepared.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
As you're saying this, sorry to interrupt. As you're saying this, you see Josephine has opened the door into her massive suite that has 2 4-poster beds in it.
Oh.
Yeah. This is
Okay.
ridiculous levels of opulence.
I can only imagine they're going to be sharing the same bed. Why are there 2 beds?
Well, there are suites. Most of these suites are typically used for the likes of families.
Yeah, of course.
So,
naturally.
I'm sure
naturally,
Annalise
you'd have a bed of your own. Myself and Yasmin are very comfortable with each other. We can share a bed.
Annalise kind of looks down at her still damp clothing from having thrown herself out of the bath to rush to Madame Josephine's and just goes, I was thinking about going back to my apartment. And,
well, I also need to go back to. Well, I don't know. I doubt going back to my family home would be safe at night. But
Not at night time.
we could.
Out of question.
I'm sure we could return to your apartment. We could all go for.
I think is Alexandre still with us?
Oh no, he's the manager. He's downstairs.
Okay. I assume is there a member of the hotel staff nearby?
No, he's of all there was the guy the lift operator, but that was it.
I could probably send for someone to bring me something.
We can go in tomorrow. I'm sure if we
Annalise,
there's bound to be something that we could borrow for the night.
I can send Jerome to your apartment to get your things.
Please don't go alone tonight.
And
I'm very good at what I do, but I appreciate it. You're likely right, of course.
I could also send him to your home, Aminata, to retrieve any things that you wish as well.
Would you rather collect for yourself?
I would much rather collect.
We shall arrange for him we shall say 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. He will be down, and Annalise, if you are comfortable waiting until the morning.
I can steal a robe from the bathroom and wear that as a night set.
Wait, Neil, I have a question.
Yes.
If it's okay.
Yeah.
Gwyn's calm of cleanliness, would that dry?
Anyone is more than welcome to it. I will happily give it to Annalise.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And actually,
well
Annalise, I believe, has a calm of cleanliness.
I have no, I have a coat of comfort.
Oh, that's what you have. Sorry, the coat of comfort.
Yeah.
So I just like I'm not trying to be annoying, but
no, that's fair.
No, Gwyn hands Annalise her coat of cleanliness, and you drawing it through your hair. You are immediately pristinely clean. Your clothes are perfectly dry and clean and perfectly wrinkle free. Your hair is immaculate. Your skin is clean. You look like you just got out of a salon.
As much as you have all known, Annalise, she's always had some sort of twigs or leaves in her hair or mud on her face, and it's the first time she's actually clean. So she just looks rather surprised looking at herself.
And it's at this moment, seeing her properly clean for the first time, you realize she's actually quite attractive.
She does not carry herself in that way.
Actually, Gwyn, you definitely notice.
Dangerous.
She is actually,
Gwyn notices.
Gwyn immediately notices she's actually quite attractive.
It's much more obvious now that the greenish blush to her body and the branch-like growths coming up are not just things she's picked up along the way. They are just parts of her.
For our viewers, to give context, as Ari said, when I asked her, we like to pick actresses that are similar to our characters. And Ari did say
specifically Kate Blanchett's performance as Hell in Thor
in
Ragnarok.
Thor, specifically.
Less like haunted, but still very like
Yes.
sharp looking.
And less spiky.
Less spiky. Yeah,
Yes,
considerably
but
spiky.
anytime Kate Blanchett's name enters the conversation, it's just a pile of ooze.
Of course.
You know.
Well, Amanada is definitely going to give like one of those like nice appraising looks and be like, Annalise, you clean up well.
Justine, give me an awareness roll, please.
The greenish tinge to her gets like covered over a little bit by a pink as she's you're kind to say. I am so used to being, face down in the dirt trying to aim through a scope that I don't really spend much time trying to look good. But
What did you get, Justine?
19.
You definitely
Ooh.
notice Amanada now noticing Annalise. As you are all deciding who's going to share what rooms with whom.
Oh no, I'm in new element.
Sylvia is saying fucking nothing. Just so people know, she's looking, but she's saying nothing.
in like a part of Annalise's mind, she's going, Sylvia seems the safest.
I can appreciate a pretty person. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I one can always enjoy a menu without ordering from it.
So, I have a very important question. Who is sleeping? We all know who Gwyn's sleeping with, but apart from Gwyn, who is sleeping with who?
Justine and Aminata, I think, in the same bed. Aminata would definitely be looking for a comforting presence right now.
Sylvia, are you comfortable sharing a room with Annalise, or are you gonna let Annalise maybe go in with Justine and Aminata, and you'll have a room to yourself?
If you ask, is it private?
We can't be split up. So we need to always buddy system.
Well,
I mean, first comes to first, I'm happy to stand.
Sylvia is going to say nothing because she doesn't want to,
The two of you are just going to be awkward together.
Yes. Okay.
Well, Sylvia is not awkward, but she just it's more she doesn't want to.
Did you just say Sylvia is not awkward?
Sylvia is super awkward sometimes.
That is the biggest lie.
Super awkward sometimes. Not all the time.
They're just going to be Prussian together. Yes. That's what they're going to be.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like the war times all over again.
So Annalise and Sylvia, you sharing. Now, by the way, when you go
Sylvia genuinely, I think there's been a lot of misinterpretation.
No, you are awkward.
Super awkward sometimes.
She's just a Traumasaurus.
Yes,
it's okay.
But going into your suite, there are 2 beds again. So
I do give Gwyn I give Gwyn back her comb and she go, danke, much appreciated.
So each suite is basically the same. They are fabulous, massive rooms, like 3 times the size of a normal bedroom. They have beautiful chaise lounge. They've got lovely tables. There is a small room off to the side, and in each of the small rooms you can see there is fine bathtubs, and you can see enchanted hot stones to the side, rose petals, oils. There's wash basins, vanity sets. Inside the main room there is privacy curtains, and there is wardrobes and chests of drawers in which you could hang up clothes if you want. These rooms are fucking this is a 5-star Victorian era hotel in the city of Paris.
Oh my god, Sylvia is gonna have a hot bath. There's
a little bell beside the bathtub.
If you don't mind, I would actually. I have only seen. Or wait, did the boarding house had a hot stone, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we have to bring up the water ourselves.
Yeah, but you have to bring the water yourselves. So there's a little bell. You ring the bell, and about a minute or 2 later, there's a knock on the door.
I hope that it is not a massive inconvenience. I know that it is late, but I would like to have a bath. Would it be possible?
When you open the door, there is a hotel staff member standing there. Sorry, there's 4 hotel staff members, all men. Each one is carrying 2 buckets.
You read my mind.
Annalise doesn't look even.
A bell beside the bathtub.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They immediately walk in and they start filling up the buckets.
I
and they
had thought
turn
that it would be too
around.
late.
No. And they turn around, and as they are leaving, there's another 4 guys already coming in. Within less than 5 minutes, the bathtub is full, and as soon as the water goes in, they place the hot stone in it as well.
Oh
So within
my
5 minutes, the bath
God.
is full, and it is being heated. And one of them says, "Mademoiselle, please wait another approximately 5 minutes for the water to fully heat up, and then it will be ready for you." And
Oh,
and if you want to empty the bath, there is if you see that cork on the bottom, and
yeah.
you can see through there's a weird kind of cork in the bottom of the bathtub. She says, simply remove that, and the water will travel through a pipe that is attached to the bottom of this bathtub and will be flushed out that way.
Okay. You can see Sylvia is like, she's looking at all the kind of oils, and she's basically picking everything up, smelling everything, seeing what's nice, and just, oh, I like that. I'm going to put some of that in. I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you're like, this is just glee.
You see, Annalise has this like face of when you're watching someone experience something you're already used to, but it's just very
So I need
sweet.
to ask this. This is an important question, Sylvia. Like, how open are you about this whole process of undressing in the bath? I assume.
Oh, Sylvia is just going to keep looking at Annalise until she leaves, because but she's not going to say anything.
Annalise does spend like an uncomfortable amount of time just looking back. But oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
And you know
enjoy.
what? It makes total sense, because Prussians normally wouldn't give a shit about nudity. So
Yes.
No.
Annalise would be very much like, "What's the problem?"
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
absolutely. You're like, it takes a minute. So Annalise leaves. You close the door. You get undressed, and you have a
Before she leaves, she does like snag a robe off the wall just to like
absolutely.
change in the room.
So
Yeah.
with does anybody Gwyn Josephine does ask you, do you wish to send any messages? You want to send a message to Monsieur Tito, for example, with the pen?
I think I will.
Yes, I think you should.
I'll just send him a quick message and update him. You know, it's funny, but we keep crossing paths in strange places, and I do believe that the weird sisters, the fates, have intertwined our lives somehow. It's not lightly I believe in this, but there's something about him.
Does he have any
so yes,
does he have any useful
I
skills?
will pen a quick message to him.
Okay. Does he have any useful skills?
I have no idea.
You saw him
He
crack
is
a
so
table
mysterious.
in half with an enchanted shillelagh.
Yeah, I don't know what he is. But he turns up when we need him.
Okay, well.
And right now we need someone like that.
What's the message you sent?
Dear Tito, facing a vampire. Come if you wish. Hotel, blah blah blah, whatever it's called.
Okay. Almost immediately you get a silvery fonted message back to you. Do you wish for me to come immediately?
Tomorrow is fine.
I will see you in the morning.
And then Gwyn is going to completely ignore the very luxurious bath that is calling to her, and just kind of climb onto one of the 4 posters and grab Josephine's hand. Please don't leave me tonight. And just kind of curl up in a ball in the fetal position.
You curl up, you all going to bed. Sylvia, you spend as long as you wish in the bath of rose petals and oils. Eventually going to
until my fingers are super wrinkly. Prune.
And
like after a little while, Annalise knocks on the door. Are you okay?
Oh, sorry. I think I should get out. I am starting.
No, it's fine. I just worried the steam. Sometimes some people pass out. It's okay. You're good. Enjoy.
No, okay.
and like you hear her drift away.
Okay.
Sylvia is gonna get out, try and not fucking brain herself.
Before everybody like heads to bed, Aminata is going to, like, as they're getting into bed with Justine, they're going to like scooch real close, and Justine is just going to feel their like shoulders starting to shake. Aww. As they try to kind of keep their tears in, and they're going to be like, I've n- this shouldn't have happened. Justine, I really liked him. I don't. I'm so disappointed.
I know. If you're thinking it's your fault, it's not. It's absolutely not your fault. And Justine is just going to hug Aminata and kind of let them cry
Mm-hmm.
and kind of show them that it's safe to cry.
Mm-hmm.
But
Um,
I want to. I don't know. Do I want to fix it? It can't be fixed. Surely he attacked my friends, but I really we spoke about things that you don't just speak to someone you don't know, and I'm just so I genuinely thought that this was going to turn into something where I would introduce him to my parents. And I do not introduce people to my parents unless I know they're going to be around for some time. And it felt like it was going there. I
I know.
what
I
do I
know.
do?
At the moment, you rest. That's the only thing you can do. And then, I don't know what's going on. We won't let him harm you. And what I know is that it's more complicated than it seems. And I think there are a lot more layers to this. And I understand how you feel, and I'm so sorry that it had to happen to you. If there is any consolation, it's definitely not you. It's him. Um,
Hearing these kind, loving words from Justine, you slowly start to relax as
and I think
you don't.
Ankh-Lagon the Great also kind of lands on your
Well,
chest and starts just
what
being
happened?
a giant scape.
You feel movement on the bed as Anki crawls up towards you and gently starts licking your tears off your cheeks,
Oh my god! I
Oh,
and
am.
Thank you
and
to the rest.
Oh
you fall
my
asleep.
god.
no.
And I
Oh
think
my.
this is a perfect place to take a very, very brief pause in our story.
Oh,
Oh,
oh my god! What the fuck is happening? Aminata was so
Oh,
happy,
poor Aminata.
so chill.
I'm an
Actually getting kind of
I
warm.
thought you were about to just do some stretches. I was like, you know what, Ferret, whatever gets you. Yeah, let's go. I'll do a quick slow yoga.
Knowing Susie, possibly.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do some CrossFit or calisthenics or
Yeah, I was
something.
about to do
Sorry,
a quick.
I was actually just getting really fucking warm suddenly. So
Sometimes.
Can I just say, Annalise is technically the gunslinger, so can you put them guns away, Susie?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just taking my job.
The gun show.
I'm gonna have to pull a veterinarian for these stick pythons.
Yeah, that's just showing off, okay? All right, flexing. Yeah, shut up, okay? Okay.
Flexing on cam.
Yes.
I'm just sitting here. Jesus.
We're gonna get raided by lesbians in like 2 seconds, okay?
Okay, look, I'm
already
covering.
here.
I'm covering. I'm covering.
Uh-huh.
There, you can't
Right.
see anything.
No, don't deny us.
No,
our-
Mute the guns.
right.
We paid the tickets
Yeah.
for this gun show. We demand to see some guns, please.
We
Thank
demand
you.
guns.
Now.
Oh god, I am getting flashbacks of your fucking wedding, T.
Okay, so without further ado, when last we left our heroes, the party, having recovered from the fight with the Baron, travelled with Madame Gaultier to possibly the most fancy, expensive hotel in Paris, Le Chateau d'Étoile, okay? The Star Chateau, alright? Or Stars Chateau. A fabulous hotel, each of you staying in suites, sharing two per person, and you go to bed, everybody exhausted. Sylvia had a wonderful bath, and other people just looking to be held close as they fell into a sleep.
Sweet Sylvia slept like
Oh yeah,
amazing.
the beds are like sleeping on clouds. Okay,
But
They're just-
it's that wonderful kind of bone deep sleep that you
Yeah.
get after
Oh,
a really
yeah.
nice hot bath. It's just
So-
like
the next morning you wake up, you head downstairs to the dining area where there is a lovely breakfast with a selection of foods. Sitting down over breakfast, Madame Gaultier turns to you and says, "Well, I suppose we need to think of our plan of action. If we were to travel to the Baron's house to face him there, he has the advantage. Aminata, you could try and draw him out somewhere, but if he is as ancient as he obviously is, I do not know how easily he will fall for any traps that we may lay."
Well,
I am also
Madame,
concerned about his allies if he has them. you
well,
know.
There is that too.
that is also true. Well, what I was thinking of, based on based on what you were telling us about how he was stopped, I was thinking, is there some way possibly? I know you do not have your laboratory to your, you know, well, you don't have your laboratory here or easy access to it. But I was thinking if we were able to use similar enough stones like the ones that you had on your threshold, and some sort of a trap somewhere possibly. I know that myself drawing him out would be the only option, considering what he said to you. I'm hoping that that is still true, and he still feels the way he feels about me. If we could somehow, if I could lure him to somewhere, maybe some consecrated ground or something, and we have a trap set up in that regards. I do not know if he'd be able to sense the magic. You know these things far better than I do. I'm just trying to think of some way that I can keep you all safe, but also
Oh, Aminata, I hate this plan. You don't understand. When he asked for you, he didn't just want you, he wanted to consume you. He will destroy you.
That isn't love. That is,
I-
you
I'm
wanting to
afraid for
possess
you.
and
If we use you
you
as
are an
bait.
obsession and
But you don't
I-
understand. You cannot outrun him. None of us
Oh
can.
no, I know I cannot outrun him. That's why I'm proposing. And with that, Aminata's just going to Aminata's going to ask like a passing waiter for a paper, pen, s'il vous plaît. And
D'accord.
once it's brought to the table, they're going to draw essentially what looks like a oddly perfect circle with just, quick
Wow.
flick of their wrist, and they're going to draw four essentially like threshold stones, lodestones, rectangular stones in a pattern around that circle with a smaller, slightly arc in there. And I'm like, if we can have something similar to this, and in this arc here is where I would be, and if he steps into that circle, and then Annalise, I'm not sure if you could activate it by shooting something towards it, or Justine, Gwen, Sylvia, if there's some sort of magic you could use to then complete the circle. Maybe we can trap him in there, but with that additional stone separating him from me,
I
or
Mm.
something.
I
I
can
don't
I
know.
well, first of all, where would we lay this trap? That's the
Well,
first question.
that's the thing. It will need to be neutral ground, and I know Paris, Madame. You also know Paris. If we can think of somewhere that is close enough to consecrated ground, so maybe an old abandoned family chapel or
I
a
think
cemetery. Justine,
Justine?
yes.
I think before we lay any traps or act on anything, I would like to do more research
Oh,
because
we.
Yeah,
we
that's
only
true.
speculate about consecrated ground. We don't know if it actually works. So I would
That
like
is
to use.
true.
We
I would
also
like
run
to do-
into the problems that we're dealing with not only a vampiric entity, that's one thing, but we're dealing with a vampiric entity who is also of magical talent. If it was just a vampire, there are things that we could do to deal with that. But
His magical abilities were greater than mine.
Madame
I've
I-
never seen such power. It was terrifying.
I wonder, and if this is not, if you do not want, I will of course go with the group consensus, especially Aminata, because this is about you really. You are the one in danger. Of course, the rest of us are, but I think we would be considered collateral damage.
Yes,
Oh,
Sylvia, what is your point?
not to me.
Sylvia, what is your point?
I was thinking maybe I could travel to the new elf.
The Lady of the Woods, Madame Moraine.
I could travel there.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Susie.
Oh,
I can't
sorry.
remember. How much did you tell Josephine about Moraine? I know she knows a bit about Melisande.
She knows about
Yeah, no, we
Melisande,
did. We told her.
her
We
sister.
told. We told.
Did you tell her about
we told
Moraine
her
as
about.
well? I couldn't.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay, cool.
Well, we would have told her that they were related.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't
We
remember.
certainly
Okay.
would have said that there was an elf drawing Fae there.
Yeah,
Drawing
we
Fae.
don't know what pillow talk Gwyn had with Madame.
Yeah.
So
Oh well, yeah.
So,
No, but I'm pretty sure.
Josephine was. Oh wait, was this
True.
This was the elf that you met, who was the incredibly even for an elf was incredibly gifted in magic. Yes.
Yes.
Did you say that they appear to have their own arcane automatons?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
In her
much
palace,
more
yeah.
powerful.
I mean, look, an elf would possibly. She could, for all we know, she could be as old as this vampire. She may know more of these creatures. But how would you get there, Sylvia?
Well, I can
That was-
transform into a bird and fly there.
Of course, I never. Of course, sorry, I was thinking as a sorcerer, not as a druid.
Oh, to teleport
yeah,
or
sorry,
travel through a tree. I cannot travel through trees yet, but
at the rate at which your powers are growing, I would imagine that by next week you can.
Well, we have to survive our current problem.
It's quite a distance. Yes, it was nearly. Oh, wasn't it? That's nearly 300 kilometers. So I assume you would not be a sparrow. What would you transform into?
Something bigger, I suppose. Maybe an eagle of some kind, or perhaps a falcon.
They are very fast. Yes. Even if it was a few hours, you could be there and back.
I might have to land and recast the spell, but that is okay.
But Sylvia, you cannot go alone, and two, I think we're forgetting how dangerous the woods were for us.
I would fly over the woods and then land in front of the castle. I wouldn't fly through. But as I said, if this is just the suggestions that I made, and if it is not a good suggestion, then I will sit there and.
I do have some experience with Fae territories, and I do feel that if Sylvia were to be traveling through the woods on foot, yes, the dangers would be great. But if she were to fly over the woods and land at the entrance to the palace of this elf, that would be quite a different matter.
I would land, of course, at the gate. I would not just land inside. Yes, I would, knock, so and knock and announce myself. And if they, of course, did not want me in, and but it was just a suggestion. The only reason I ask is that I can't read Latin. I am not a scholar. I cannot create devices. I wanted to help, but
no, it's a great idea. I'm just concerned that everybody seems to be in some sort of danger because of an infatuation.
Do not blame yourself for the current insanity that is our lives. It is not your fault.
I do think Aminata's concerns about your safety are quite valid, which is why I think if you were to do this, you should leave very soon so that you can be there and return during the daytime.
Daylight.
Yes.
It was never my intention to travel at night because
I think that you should definitely.
He transformed into a bat, so I would want to be back before sunset.
Well, an eagle is bigger than a bat, but nonetheless, I would be more worried of him then transforming back into himself and grappling you mid-flight and trying to feed off you as he did. No, this is a wonderful suggestion. I have met the elves on a number of occasions. They are great scholars. They are extremely learned beings. They are truly, some of them are nearly godlike in their magical abilities. So if you could learn anything from her, it would be invaluable. And it's at that moment that you hear a noise from towards the front, like where the entrance into the dining space. And you say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, monsieur, but if you're not a guest," and you look and you see it's Tito,
Tito.
talking to a hotel staff member who's like,
Gwen will run straight up, grab him. He's with us, monsieur.
"Oh, of course, madame, pardonnez-moi." And Tito's not dressed like a hobo. Like, as I said to you before, his clothing is all it's all exceptionally high quality fabrics, but very plain. Clearly,
So he looks like a backpacker, but it's all Patagonia.
basically, yeah, it's 19th century Patagonia is what he's wearing, you know? That's perfect. And he has...
I've not yet met the Baron, so Annalise immediately goes for her gun until she sees everyone like
no,
Annalise,
no. So he comes with he's got his shillelagh in his hand that you've seen him use before, the one that's cracked the table in half. As he comes up to you, I says, "Good morning, everybody." And
we're glad you're here.
I think this is his first time seeing you, Annalise. He kind of looks at you and he kind of nods his hands like, "Bonjour, my name is Tito."
Guten Morgen, Annalise Nicole. It's a pleasure. And she looks around at the group and just kind of recognizes, okay, we're good, and sits back down to a big plate of food.
I believe we are planning. I do not know what is happening here.
Like I said, there was our mystery is somewhat solved, and Gwen will regale him with the story of the Baron, how he's a vampire.
So he's listening to you intently. He never interrupts you once. He waits until you are fully finished absorbing all the information you're giving him. So if we attack him in his place of residence, he will have the advantage of his of his home territory and whatever other allies he has with him there. We could try and bring him into another space. This could be a very messy, very dangerous fight. So I would think possibly some sort of a warehouse or abandoned building.
Okay.
A graveyard.
Yes.
Graveyards are not ideal. They are a
Open.
building is better. A building is better because in a building you may have within the structure be able to find areas where you can be at a height of elevation. You can see he's clearly got an extremely tactical mind. So both Annalise and Sylvia, you are immediately getting strong officer vibes off this guy. Really strong, because like Sylvia, you've never had this kind of a conversation with Tito before. You two of you immediately are getting extremely strong officer vibes off this guy. You're like, this guy is clearly an ex-soldier. He has seen shit. This is a military tactical mind, immediately seeing the situation, immediately assessing it, and immediately trying to come up with a plan. It's quite clear to both of you.
Squints, but nods and goes, "Yeah, that's a fair point. I personally am used to shooting out over open space as well as indoors, but you are right that elevation would be tactically useful. I mean,
especially for your rifle.
My rifle. I mean, it would have to be a large building for me to use it best.
Well,
but
you
yeah,
say this vampire is. What if we were to find an old abandoned church?
That's what I was saying. If we could find somewhere close to, like I said, an old abandoned family chapel, that is at least, there won't be as many civilians around.
No, that's a very good idea.
It would be discreet enough.
I could secret myself on the sort of the organ balcony, and that would be nice.
Exactly, and I know, I know you mentioned that he had some magics from the sphere of death. We don't know what he might be able to conjure. If it is a wider public cemetery, that is a lot of potential allies you could conjure up, but
Oh yeah, that's a fair
and
point.
I'm
I hadn't thought of
considering
that.
in a smaller plot, I'd expect not as many, and maybe their remains would be old enough that they wouldn't be the most useful if.
Yeah, we do not want to be grabbed by the Walking Dead. That's so icky, you know.
Well,
it-
you know, it wasn't nice the last time, so
So what are
Um,
people's plans for today? I assume that we are not doing this evening. You look, and he looks
No.
specifically at Gwyn, because Gwyn, you are not fully healed. You got some...
I had 36 grit point. I was minus 11 to
Okay.
36.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Sylvia.
then,
well, you got some back.
yeah, but after a long night, so
36.
after your long night's rest,
Is your max still capped down?
yeah, no, after a long night's
Yep.
rest,
No,
you,
I
you
removed the cap.
regain.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
did
that
you?
was gone.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
so
well,
you,
no, I
so,
removed
so you regain fortitude plus resolve plus willpower plus double your level. That's how a long rest works
Wow.
in this system. We don't agree.
Bear with me.
You don't get back to full health. That's just stupid. So that is 6, 7 plus 18. You regain 25 grit from your long
Okay.
rest. Not insignificant, but you're not back to full health.
Yeah,
Well,
at some point, I think
then-
after the conversation, Gwyn is going to excuse herself
So,
and retire
so
to bed.
Tito's seeing
Cool.
this. He's like, "What is the plan? You clearly need at least one more day of rest before you face this creature."
Yeah.
Well,
I never
Lynn,
want to face him again,
will
Tito.
keep
To
when
be
I
honest.
return.
Oh, return! Where are you going, Sylvia?
I am going to travel to the Tronque Forest, hopefully to
The
see if
Tronque
I can
Forest, where I
learn.
met you before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So just it will take me all of the day.
Yeah.
So
What is there?
so I'm hoping to get some information from an ally. At least I hope they are an ally. I think they are an ally. And when I return, I will heal you as much as I can.
Okay, right. Well, so
Sylvia,
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea because in terms of knowledge, this ally of ours,
yeah,
I don't think there is anyone who we know who's more knowledgeable. But I absolutely hate the idea of you traveling alone. I
I
don't know how much of your power it takes to cast a spell on someone else, but you did it with me. So I would love someone to go with you,
Okay.
yes,
if
Dean,
possible.
I think you going with Sylvia would. I think
Oh.
we're on the same mind. You should go.
Justine is working on the man receptacles. She can't.
Yeah,
But
and I'm looking at Annalise
Yeah.
because
Well, I was planning on escorting Frau Aminata to her estate and back, but
Jerome can escort her. My carriageman.
I look over at Aminata to see if that flies with her.
I mean, you've met Jerome before. He's a cool guy.
no, I know he's a cool
Yeah.
guy, but also at the same time, this is a very very interesting predicament they're in, and Aminata is like, and
Tito
they're just
puts
going
his
to
hand up and he said, "I could go with Mademoiselle Aminata."
yeah,
Yeah.
between Jerome and Tito, I will be perfectly all right. Please, Annalise, I know you've only joined our party, but please look after Sylvia and more look after yourself.
Sylvia,
And
Sylvia's quite able. This is Tito now. Sylvia's quite able to look after herself. She's
I
quite powerful.
know, but
No disrespect, Madame.
Sorry,
This is Tito saying
who
this.
is it? Who has it been decided? Sorry, who's it been decided is going with
Well,
me?
no
I
one's
didn't.
decided.
That's the
Anna-
debate.
it's been
Oh,
suggested
sorry,
that Annalise
okay.
go with you. The two Prussians.
I'm just concerned because Moraine hasn't met her.
Yeah.
That's
That is
true,
also
yeah.
a good point.
But she is Faye touched and looks like Kate Blanchett.
Which makes it
Yeah.
I'm just saying, she looks like Kate Blanchett.
Okay, I'm
Don't
not
let her
gonna.
sister see her.
I mean, I am
That's
at
all I'll say.
home in the woods, if that seems to be where they're going. If they plan to be back within a certain amount of hours, I can just lurk outside the walls of wherever you're going for a little bit of time.
I
look like a
don't-
bush. I can just sit in a bush and no one will
I
see me.
cannot guarantee your safety.
I can guarantee my own safety. That's okay.
Aminata is just going to like actually pale, considering the last time they were running through that woods and they
Annalise
ended up in the
just-
I
Fey realm by
catch
accident.
that expression and go,
Um,
okay, maybe not.
Josephine piped in and says, Annalise did just kill a griffin.
Well, yes, but also Annalise did not accidentally get teleported to the Fey realm
No,
by
she
accident.
wouldn't. No,
So
no, she would not do that. No.
She is far smarter, perhaps, than us.
Horror step.
Josephine
It was
doesn't
like-
say it, but you know.
Is that something that happens there?
Well, yeah. Well, it was a very interesting battle, and there was lots of running and trying to dodge a crazy person that Gwyn had been involved with. But yes, I'm sure if you are at home in the forest, I know, some of our kin who are comfortable in the forest would probably not be in dire predicaments. To be honest, I managed to get into the Fey realm and back out in a matter of minutes, and I'm hoping that. Well,
I mean, this is under the
I'm just
assumption that
worried.
whatever we're meeting is not okay with me going inside. By all odds, I'm sure that, I can impress some new people.
If you're of the forest, I think you should be okay. Just please be.
There was a Moschleute somewhere in my bloodline. If you couldn't tell, I suppose the woods listen to me.
Really?
In some way.
How does Sylvia
Wow.
react to those words?
Does everyone just turn and look at Sylvia?
Does
Gwyn
I
has
want to know.
Gwyn has definitely
turned
her jaws just dropped and she's turned to look at Sylvia. How
What,
many
did they say
Moschleutes are in Germany?
How does Justine react to hearing Annalise say, "Oh, I have a Moisleute in my family tree"? Excuse the pun.
My family bush.
Well, like Sylvia can very clearly tell that there's some sort of a forest fae.
Yes, but
and
now
she-
Annalise has explicitly said, "No, my Fey ancestor was a Moisleute." How does Sylvia react?
I
to
mean,
that?
as
Gwyn
far
is
as
like,
we know.
are you now related? Like, how does this work? What's happening?
Are you just going to assume that all Mosleuter know each other?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes,
That's
the
not
girl
how it
who
works.
grew up in a different country and didn't know what a Moisleute was
Yeah.
until like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
the vast conclaves of Moschleute around.
The way the druids reacted to Sylvia when she said Moschleute, yeah, Gwyn is like, how many can there be?
Look, if your relative is called went by the name Aicha, I suppose you and I could be considered sisters in a way.
I don't actually know. It was a
You
bit of
don't-
distance in the
But
bloodline.
also, you don't actually know what from what you remember in the story, they had a name, but it was a pet name.
Yeah, it was.
They never.
Most
gave
Leute
their
never
true name.
give. They
Yeah.
never give a true name, so
It
you
was a
know
bit of
you-
a grey mark in the Nicole family history that they didn't really talk about too much. It just kind of.
yeah, of course.
I
but
was
you
born
don't have a
on
name,
then-
so
Yeah.
I am not going to assume that it was a Most Leute, therefore it must be the same Most Leute. If it
I'm sorry,
was,
wait,
it would
are you
be...
so you're related to a Moschleute as well, or?
No, well, you can see, of course, no.
I
was,
do not want to.
I
assume.
was trained by a Mosleuter. She was a mother figure very much to me, far more so than my own mother.
Oh, man. I mean, you would likely be closer to one than I have ever been. Then I merely have one somewhere in my genealogy.
She is the reason that I am standing here talking to you, that I am able to stand here and talk to you. So
another thing that connects us, I suppose.
So
How did
with that news, I think everybody's getting up and ready to go their separate ways. So Justine and Josephine are heading to the Sorbonne. Tito is going to go with Aminata to their house. Gwyn is going back upstairs to rest because she is really, really not good.
Quick question. Before we leave, I'm going to ask Lady Madame Gaultier for her pen.
Yeah, sure. She says it's up in the room, and she says we'll go back up to the suite, and you can use it there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
Because if I am to be transforming another person, I won't have much arcane energy left to heal Hilgrin, I'm sorry.
It's going to cost you 24 mana in total for the whole round trip.
But if I'm to be taking Annalise with me...
wait, sorry, it's more than that because you have to cast it twice for you, twice
Yes.
for her.
Oh, I
So
don't think I
48.
actually have enough.
You do, 48. You've got 60-something.
But is it not twice... Oh, wait, 6,
Yeah.
12. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
48,
so it'll be 48.
Okay.
So you'll have a bit, you'll have about 20 mana left by the time you get back.
Just be safe, Sylvia. That's all that matters.
I'm just saying, like, you actually will have a...
Okay,
you
sorry.
You might not get up to full health, but you'll do a good job, like, you know?
No, I messed up my maths. I'm sorry.
The GM is a maths teacher.
No, I just multiplied by 2 too many times.
It's okay.
Well, Sylvia, please be safe. Don't worry. And Annalise as well, the two of you, please stay safe in that forest. And Tito, thank you for going with Aminata.
So,
you also please be safe, Aminata. And Gwen is just very pale, so she's gonna just slink away to bed.
So, Aminata, you go up with Gwen and Josephine to the suite, and she gives you the messenger pen so you can send whatever message you need to send.
Yeah.
A very above board and normal message to a normal person.
Yeah. Oh crap.
Who's she sending it to?
Aminata's gonna send a message to the Baron.
The first word used is just hi, but it's really long. Hi.
Hi.
So, what is your message to the Baron?
New phone. Who it is?
Listen here, you janky bitch. No. It's gonna be a case of oh god. Listen, it's gonna be a mixture of like trying to sweet talk him, but also being like very much scathing as to I cannot believe you did that to my fucking friends, and you thought that I'd be cool with that.
Well,
so it's going to be, dearest Baron, I have seen what you are capable of when it comes to loved ones of mine, and I must say I am very disturbed that you thought that trying to destroy someone who is very near and dear to me would somehow make me more, I don't know, would I suppose make me more amicable to your affections. I thought that we had some sort of understanding in all of our correspondence that you were looking for a place in which to settle, a place in which to call home, but you have done a very thorough job of burning any bridges that you have started building. However, for some strange reason, now this may be something to do with your lineage or some magic that you have and you conveniently did not tell me about, but I feel like it would be doing almost myself more than you a great disservice to not hear why what you have to say. You want me to be your bride, yet you did such a heinous thing, and I do not know if I could ever forgive you, but for the sake of my people, and it's not just the party, it's all of Paris. I cannot have you out here draining people of their life essence. We need to discuss this, and I don't know if what you truly feel is what you think it is, because I do not know if you understand the meaning of love from what it has been described. It is truly infatuation and mild possession. And if you do have any inkling of tender affection towards me, you would not continue to hurt those I care for deeply, and we will find a way to amicably and civilly discuss how we could maybe move forward from this and how you can make reparations for what you have done. You almost killed my friend. And Um, yes. So if this is something you are open to, I am not under the guise of some lovesick puppy that everything will turn out a-okay. I know that you are incredibly powerful and I am quite terrified of you at the moment, but I need to protect my people, and for some twisted reason, my heart seems to want to think of you as one of those people. So if you are open to communicating with me in some way, um, and I'm just going to give my iconogram
Yeah,
details
go.
and uh,
Yep,
yours question mark Aminata.
cool. Right, super.
I
So
love a
you,
scathingly polite letter.
so you then travel, go back down to the lobby where Tito's waiting for you. You jump in the carriage with Jerome and head to your house to get whatever stuff you want to get. Okay, you don't need
Yeah,
to tell me what you're getting. I don't like.
yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, ah, you forgot to say that. No, whatever you need, you will now have. Okay.
Hmm.
So Justine and Josephine head to the Sorbonne. You get to the library. Josephine is able to get you in. You basically have the run of this library because she is a highly respected alumni of this university. So what specifically kind of stuff are you looking to research?
Oh my god, you could basically look at anything you fucking wanted.
Well,
Yeah.
within
Yes.
reason. It is the library
Yes.
of one of the top universities in the world at this time.
Oh,
Find out how elevators work.
sorry, my inner nerd is just like, oh man, I can't. So anyway, sorry.
So, first of all, we'll try to take a glimpse at folklore
Mhm.
of like Balkan area,
Yeah.
Bulgaria, surrounding countries,
Yeah. Cool.
and see if there is anything anywhere in the folklore and stories about Fae, about creatures. Not even Fae. No, we're not touching Fae because he's not Fae. About like undead, dead people, people returning from dead, and then I think it's worth looking at historical documents to see if we can try and find this exact person.
Okay.
We know he's a baron, so we'll try to maybe look at like lineage of like Bulgarian barons, and see if
Very
maybe
clever.
descriptions of some of them match.
He's been a noble for that
Um,
long. There's got to be something.
Right. This is really cool. So give me, this is intellect, and you can use you can use you have research, don't you?
I do have research
Yeah.
here.
So you can't use memory because you're not trying to remember something, but you can use research.
And Neil, can I just ask one question? Sorry, but if I had been, if I was to retrospectively have cast Bless hypothetically, how long would it last?
Oh god. Oh, I don't think it's that long, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's just you cast it in combat, isn't it? I just want I just looked at my Book of Shadows and it doesn't say.
Yeah, I'm just looking it up now.
Sorry.
No.
It's fine. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Bless the it doesn't actually say. We'll say 24 hours or when the pool is used. Okay.
Oh, but I didn't actually cast it, so like it's fine.
No, you can say that you did. We can say that you did. Like it's 2 mana.
Okay, if you're sure,
Yeah,
like
of course.
okay,
It's a first level spell.
Yeah, no, it just like so you get a +5.
Yeah.
I get a +5.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Then it's 21.
Okay, right.
Let's go.
So
Nice.
so you wanted to look up specifically. You're trying to find the lineage of the Baron, yes?
Yes. Lineage of the Baron and like royalty, like Bulgarian royalty, and see if there are any weird patterns. If there is someone who's kind of keeps appearing, or if there is someone who is described in exactly the same way throughout the generations. And then I want to specifically look at all the kind of strange issues, like legends and like urban legends of women meeting someone dark and beautiful and then just like dying of grief or just like being very tired, and so anything that can be like related to what we're experiencing.
So I will say this: what you do find is, specifically on the whole dark mysterious creatures feeding off people, you find numerous stories about incubi, and they don't seem to be all that relevant. Okay,
Yeah.
but you do find a mention of a Ivan Stratsmir, who was apparently the bastard son of Ivan Asen V, born in 1358.
What?
Oh boy.
Yes.
500, a 500-year-old vampire? Are you kidding me?
1358. And so
That's 514 years. Thank you very much.
So the Stratsmirs
No,
were
he
a
doesn't know how to
very
elevate.
powerful Bulgarian noble family, but then there's no other references to him because it then mentions the Ottoman invasion of Bulgaria, which occurred about 20 or so years after he was born, and they took over that whole region. Okay? But Josephine also finds a record of a Baron Ivan Stratsmir appearing in records of Romanian nobility about 100 years after that.
He's been skipping towns.
So you think you've, between the two of you, with those exceptional rolls, I rolled a nat 20 for Josephine, and you got your 23, so like, yeah. You think you've actually, I think this is him. I think I've actually found a record of the Baron.
I think we're actually fucked.
Over 500 years old.
Oh my god.
What
So,
the heck?
Are there any? Sorry, can you say again whose son he is? Ivan the Fifth.
Ivan Asen V. He was a powerful. He was like a king of some sort. Or really, it doesn't. It's not very clear if he was a king or like just a ridiculously powerful noble of Bulgaria in the mid 14th century. And apparently, this Ivan Stratsmir was the illegitimate child of this Ivan the Fifth, which is but he was the illegitimate child, but it appears to have been from a woman from another noble family, you know.
Born in 1340 what?
58.
Ah, jeez.
So yes, he is over 500 years old.
So
because it is
so
1872.
Can we check another thing?
Yeah.
Two things, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Can we check the records? Is there any stories related to Ivan Asen the Fifth? Any legends? Any weird?
So,
he had weird diseases.
No, there's nothing at
like
all.
that?
Like nothing. The only references to him are related to his appearance as the king, and then the Ottoman invasion. There's zero weird shit about the family at all.
Can we also check quickly?
Yeah.
Or as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
The Turk. Sorry if I'm butchering the word. Turk mythology. Because if Ottoman Empire invaded when he was 20, and his father, I looked him up, my apologies, died during the invasion.
Yeah.
So maybe something happened during that time that converted him into whatever the fuck he is.
You don't. Unfortunately, with that, I mean, it was a great role. That's why you got the year he was born, you know? But you're not finding anything else that's going to help you with that. I'm really sorry. Like, we found some cool stuff here, but like, you literally found, with that great role, was like, no, you actually found him. Which is, and it was like an obscure reference in a very old tome, because even though it's the Sorbonne Library, he's a random noble of Bulgaria. It's not like the Austro-Hungarian Empire or, the Prussians or Prague or somewhere like that, you know? Very much kind of like, distant rural peasants.
It definitely gave me goosebumps. I definitely made me shit my pants. But it doesn't really tell us how to defeat him and what to do with him.
Unfortunately, doesn't.
So, can we also look possibly potentially the last thing, and maybe the Archbishop would be the best person to go there, because you said he was a bastard child. Can we look up unholy unions of people and some sort of like demonic creatures? Because maybe his daddy fucked like a succubus or something.
So give me a fresh intellect roll.
Please roll well.
And I believe you've used your +5 now, haven't you? So
yes, I did. I actually rolled really well this time. So I rolled 16 plus my 5 intellect. That
21.
is going to be 21 plus research. So that's +1.
Okay, so 22. Okay, right. I mean, you find loads of stories about like of different like unholy unions. You even actually find some stories of beings called Dhampir, who are like the children of vampires, and apparently they have special powers that make them deadly at killing vampires. Like, this is in the Slavic folklore section, like that the child of a vampire can see them if they apparently vampires can turn invisible. You find that out. Yeah, so there's another thing. But a Dhampir can see a vampire when it's invisible and can like fight them and kill them. So you find that information. So that, in terms of children of unholy unions, that's one of the things you find out. But you're not. But from the other, that's the only information that you find about anything to do with somebody being born a vampire. Like, vampires appear to be created from somebody who dies from being fed on by a vampire. The Dhampir, which is like a weird hybrid, they're not vampires, but they do have some crazy cool powers that can be used against vampires. So so you do find that out. And
very simple.
And also in this research, you also find out on a line referencing the fact that and they can see them when they're invisible. Oh, great! So they can turn invisible. That's another thing they can do. Great.
Okay, so we have our perfect plan. Get Gwyn to sleep with him. Wait until she's pregnant. Gives birth to a beautiful. Gives birth to a beautiful witch daughter.
No.
Okay. So
Gwyn's like, give me 5 minutes and a turkey baster.
Turkey baster, please. Anything but the real thing.
Sylvia and Annalise, you spend over 5.5 hours in eagle form flying across the middle of France until you
do land at one point.
You have to land at one point because your spell is running out of time, and then you recast it and continue your journey, okay?
I'm just like, shake it off, you're fine, come on.
Yeah, Annalise throws up in a bush.
Yeah, it's kind of exhilarating because you're a golden eagle. They're one of the most majestic animals in the world, you know.
Beautiful.
You do finally come you're coming over the Tronqué forest, and at least you're following Sylvia. She's the one who knows the way. This beautiful forest, it looks quite ancient. And then as you come in towards the center, you see below
Sylvia's back there's no pigment at all.
So this is one way which is different, is that yes, her feathers along her back are white in color.
Mental note.
Yes, it's quite distinctive. But anyway, until you finally find yourself coming upon a structure. It looks like a palace made of solid crystal or glass, surrounded by high walls and like beautiful, intricate wrought iron gates. As you both land in front of the gates, changing back into your human forms, Sylvia, what are you doing?
So what did we do the last time? Oh God! Last time she was expecting us. Okay, I'm gonna go up to the.
I have a messenger pen if you want to, just send a little nudge.
Oh, actually, that would be amazing.
All yours, please.
If I had known that, I might have actually used it before we left.
Oh, I don't know if it would reach that far.
Oh,
no,
yes,
your range is 50 kilometers.
Yeah, but from here, I imagine it would work here.
Yes.
And I pass over with this little ink pot.
Okay. I'm going to say...
As you start writing the message, you haven't even finished it and sending the enchantment to the gates open.
Okay.
Oh. Did you send the message? That was fast.
I'm going to just very quickly say, Lady LeFay, we seek your audience, Sylvia. And then I'm going to run in and grab Annalise and just run in.
So you grab Annalise by the hand and pull her up, okay?
Because I'm pretty sure that's just an enchantment. Like, they're going to close. So
So
You don't want to get the automatic doors to shut on
the
you.
gates close behind you, and these beautiful briar roses grow across the gates, appearing to block your path. You travel up the avenue towards the front of the palace, going up steps towards, and as I say, it appears to be made of crystal, and coming to these beautiful fine doors. They're like over 3.5 meters tall, intricately carved, with beautiful like gold look. It looks like they're gold handles towards the center. And as you come out, like there's like 3 steps coming up, and as you get to the top, those doors open, leading into. You've seen the beautiful foyer that you saw before. This is an exquisite house.
yeah, it's just
Not
that's
house,
an
it is a
enchantment. She
palace.
doesn't
It
know
is
we're
a
here.
palace.
Oh my god, I don't like this at all.
Wow,
Okay.
it's beautiful.
Um,
No
Yeah.
concern.
Yeah,
Has no
this-
context.
This is an breathtaking foyer. It's like, maybe
Wow.
4 or 5 meters high. There's these intricate chandeliers made of crystal or possibly even diamond, glowing with a faint glow. And what's really strange is when you look through if you look through if you look at the walls, you can't see into the adjoining rooms. But if you look behind you, the exterior walls behind you become semi-opaque, so you can partially see out. It's this weird change in opacity and translucency. You hear the sounds of faint music, a pianoforte or some such thing, off to one side. And walking towards it, you come into the fabulous dining room space where you had dined with Moraine before, and you see her sitting at the top of the table, this fabulous table, easily sit 30, 40 people, maybe more, sipping what looks to be some wine from a crystal glass, as she says, "Why, Sylvia, this is a delightful, unexpected surprise, and it would seem that you have grown considerably in strength."
Oh, my lady, I am sorry for not
Please.
contacting
And
you
as she
sooner.
gestures, 2 chairs pull away, and your friend as well.
This is Annalise Nicole, also of Prussia, like myself.
Guten Tag, Fräulein, and she moves into perfect, flawless German.
Oh, in German, go, Guten Abend, my lady. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
This is Lady Moraine LaFay. We have, she has very.
Sit down.
Oh,
I quickly take a seat.
And
Sylvia sits down very
Yeah.
quickly.
Then you hear the sounds of like heavy clanking, and looking to your side, Annalise, you see what looks to be a human figure made of clockworks and gears, carrying a tray upon which are 2 glasses of wine, which it sets down and puts them in front of you both, and then steps back away.
Have I ever seen Automata in
No,
this?
nothing at all.
I was going, Gott in Himmel, what is...
So
I kind of look over at Sylvia.
you were in Paris, were you not?
I was, my lady.
And you flew here in the form of an eagle.
I did.
You know I know everything that goes through my forest.
Yeah, okay.
You
well,
truly have grown in strength. If you manage to live long enough, you may someday marvel at my powers.
Oh, well, I try not to look ahead more than, a couple of days.
It is rare, but there is the occasional mortal who still rival me. I mean, I remember there was that lovely group that good Lord, it must be nearly 20, 30 years ago now. They weren't quite Roma, but they lived as Roma in caravans, a mixture of Fey-touched and humans.
Oh.
They had this powerful matriarch, beautiful with raven black hair, married to a goblin no less, and her magic was so exceptional, I think it may have rivaled mine. They had the most beautiful little child, a beautiful little girl, part goblin, part human.
Oh, how lovely.
Well, that sounds sweet.
Yes. Anyway,
Well-
sorry, I digress. What brings you here? One
So-
of the more interesting mortals.
Well, I don't know about that, but so a lot has happened since we last spoke. there is currently a human who is trying to create automatons. That is a problem that we need to address.
Why is that a problem?
Perhaps. Oh well, he was experimenting on soldiers whose minds had become broken in the recent war. It was quite terrible. We were not able to defeat him, but our current problem is quite dire. You remember Aminata?
Of course. Lovely
Yeah.
young lady.
So
Powerful
she,
Fey blood.
yeah, indeed. But she and a baron were quite enamored with each other and had.
She is quite lovely.
Yeah, indeed, and they had exchanged contact details and were corresponding, but
Sounds very proper.
unfortunate. It was,
fantastic.
except she was losing strength and becoming quite sickly, and it was very difficult for me to hear her. We have learned that he is unfortunately a vampire.
Oh mon Dieu.
I don't know if you know anything about these creatures.
I do know of these creatures. My father faced one approximately 2 centuries ago.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We know that he has magical abilities.
Yeah.
Of a sorcerer, he can dispel magic the same way that Justine can. He has access to death magic. He casts quite a terrible deathly spell that against a dear friend of Vince, which I know would have killed any of us.
Sounds very concerning.
But he is obsessed. He wishes to claim Aminata, and
so why are you here?
Well, I was hoping maybe if you knew anything about them. Justine is currently in the Sorbonne in Paris, hoping to uncover information. I am grasping at straws. I am not a scholar. I cannot create magical devices.
You are a powerful druid.
I know, but I can't do these things. I'm waiting while we plan,
Well, I mean, I can tell you about 2 centuries ago, my father, while we still lived here in France before the revolution, he did face one of these creatures. They disguised themselves as an Austrian duke, and they were very handsome and charming, and it's mingling with the noble families. Even though they were an outsider, they were extremely wealthy, and they became enamored with a young girl who was very happy with this because she was hoping it would lead to a marriage and a wonderful union, until she became sickly and then died. And then some of the staff in their palace said that they were seeing her at night, and her mother started becoming sick. Then the father, who was a friend of my father's, came to my father pleading for his help, and they discovered the young girl, Emily, I think her name was, and that she had been transformed into this creature. My father fought the duke, this baron, or this vampire. From what I remember my father telling me, it was quite a fearsome and deadly battle. This creature did not have any magical abilities like the one you're describing, but my father is an accomplished swordsman, and he said that this was one of the most accomplished fighters he had ever fenced against.
Oh, this vampire, he is preternaturally fast. Vin, I have never seen her so rattled.
My own kin, we can move at great speed as well, but he said that it was as if this creature had centuries of training with the sword.
But if he was a vampire, he may.
That yours has centuries of training with the arcane.
What was his? Oh wait, I am sure he carried a saber and carried himself as an officer. Would he probably can? But do you remember his name?
No, I do not. I remember and he was killed by my father. My father did kill him. No, he killed him, burnt the body. So
I understand removing the head and driving a wooden stake.
That will kill most things.
Yeah, but is the
well, I will say this. Afterwards, I did become fascinated by such creatures, because the thing you must understand about a vampire is that they were immortal once. They were human, and they were transformed into a magical being, like the loup-garou.
So it's curse that is passed,
I do not,
or
if it is a curse, if it is an enchantment, no, I do not know, and it is quite fascinating, and it's something that I studied for quite some time. In fact, I was trying to understand how mortals could become such powerful magical beings. For example, did you know that if a loup-garou, and I assume it'd be true of a vampire as well, travels through the Fey realm, they are immune to its effects, as us true Fey are.
I did not. But
It
as
would-
a loup-garou fae,
No, they are not. That is the thing. They are not Fey. They are some sort of magical human hybrid of some sort.
So is a
Like-
vampire someone who has become infused with these magics?
I
And
do not know. This is none. Vampires are always humans. They are mortals who are transformed by being consumed by another vampire. That was what I discovered. In order to become a vampire, you must be fed upon by another vampire to the point that you die. And when you die, your body awakens in this undeath, and you are now one of their kin.
my lady, I must ask if the loup-garou can be cured, those who are bitten, can
I do
a
not know.
vampire be
there-
cured
what-
in this
no,
way?
the-
I
what-
know
what-
that. I
whatever-
know that.
No.
I have cured werewolves myself. I know that it can be done.
But I believe in that case, they had not gone through the full change yet.
No, he had not.
No. And this is a completely different magic. From my research that I did, no, they cannot be transformed back into a mortal. The only way they are released from this is through death.
I should ask, have you, since my lady, you have a fascination with these things?
I did when I was younger.
I mean, as we all, we in use, I liked horses for some time. Is there a noticeable deterioration in the personality upon the change, or do they seem to generally keep their wits about them, so to speak?
The difference that I could tell from the accounts that I read would be that whatever vices they had as a mortal become stronger as a vampire.
So
there
this
is
was
no-
the same
There's
as a werewolf.
there is no complete,
Loss of self.
emotional transformation or loss of self. No, but their
Yeah,
vices do
yeah.
become stronger.
Okay.
Yes. Well,
Interesting.
this is quite alarming. You have quite a fight in front of you, my dear. But perhaps I can help. And she reaches up with her hand, and as she does, the sunlight that's shining through the glass, through the crystals, through the windows, it's like she catches some of the beams
Ooh.
and pulls them down in her hand, which starts to glow with a radiant light that grows stronger and stronger and then fades. And as it fades, she opens her hand, and in her hand is a beautiful yellowish stone of some sort. As she reaches across to you, so says, "Here you go. This will help."
Was ist das?
It's just something I've just put together for you now. It's think of it as
Immediate terror at the casualness of using such great magic.
Yes, exactly.
Sylvia is like trying to play it cool, but like she is.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear her in your head, Annalise. I know she's terrifying and amazing.
I just twist my ring underneath the table and reply, "She just captured the sunlight in her hand and is giving you it as a stone."
Yes.
Well,
So,
Can she hear their thoughts actually? Because I'm pretty sure Sylvia tried
Probably.
that last time, and Madame was like
No,
the lady was like,
she couldn't hear their thoughts, but she was incredibly insightful.
Yeah, she knew. She probably knows that I'm casting it, but like.
So, and she
Yeah.
says,
And
so,
Annalise is famous for a good poker face.
Yeah,
We all know that.
this stone that I have just constructed for you, if you clasp it in your hand and throw it at the ground, it will shatter and release a burst of pure radiant sunlight energy. However, you must be careful. If you do not turn your gaze, you will be briefly blinded by its dazzling brilliance.
Okay.
Jawohl, it's a grenade. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's a solar grenade.
Oh.
So you can now add
We have two
to
things
your
involved.
you can now add to your equipment list on your character sheet, Sylvia, solar grenade. As,
The
Solar
ultimate.
grenade!
as a minor action, you throw it. It shatters and does 3d10 plus 5 radiant damage in
Ooh.
a 5 meter radius. Anybody within a 10-meter radius must perform a dexterity, quick reflexes versus a target number of 15, or they are blinded for 1 turn.
Oh, okay. That's a
Ooh.
drawback.
But it's 3d10 plus 5
If
radiant
they're blinded, did
for
you say?
1 turn.
Mm.
For one,
Yeah, but it
for-
can. I could signal to the rest of you before I throw it
Well,
to turn
you
away.
could try and signal to the rest of them, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but
That
if
would
I
be, if you were like, shield your eyes, that's a free action, you know.
yeah, like
Or if
if we had a word.
or if you had, I don't know, some sort of a gesture.
Yeah. The gesture will be throwing a grenade.
Well,
work.
if please finish your wine. Would you like some food? You must be hungry after that long flight.
Well, you know, we
She
don't have to
gestures,
put your...
and a moment later, another automaton comes down
Oh my
with a
god!
tray of freshly baked breads. There is some croissant. There is some pain au chocolat. There is baguette. There is a
Cards are life.
There is
Cards
a
are life.
selection of cheeses. There is some fresh grapes, and you have a really, really, really enjoyable lunch.
Well, I did.
When you are finished, she says, "Well, it's far too far for you to fly back. I shall send you." And with a wave of her hand and a flash of light, you both disappear and reappear in Gwyn's suite, standing beside her bed, she asleep, trying to recover from the exhaustion of her battle against the Baron. You both now back in Paris. And I think
I immediately booked to the bathroom to throw up.
that is a perfect place to pause in our story. Annalise,
I love how Gwen is just gonna be
diving
woken
under
up
the
like
bed,
"Ah!"
reaching for the bedpan
Yes.
as you are back in Paris with this additional piece of equipment.
Oh my god! I can't believe she just.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I'll send you.
The
I mean, that
joys
saves
of,
the tangent. That's
the
nice.
joys of knowing a terrifyingly powerful elf.
Mm.
So, thank you so much all for joining us. We do not know what's going to happen next week. Maybe it'll be a TPK. It'll probably be a TPK. But everybody has really fun backup characters already planned, right, guys?
Yeah.
But
I have started thinking about it.
How
Already.
dare you?
But
I mean, I
no-
didn't say I've come up with any. I didn't say I've come up with anything, but I've definitely thought I need to start
No,
thinking about
stop it.
I am
Yes.
not. I am also back in the World of Fair this Sunday. Not here, but over with our wonderful friends at the Emerald Collective, Ireland's foremost D&D TTRPG stream, where we are currently playing Trouble in the North, a very fun starter adventure you can freely download off my itch.io page, set in the delightful Yorkshire in the north of England. But right now, I'm going to say thank you again so much for joining us. We shall see you all next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Good night, all. Bye.
Bye.